Apple cider vinegar has been used for thousands of years, but today it's become one of the most talked about health drinks in the world. Some people drink it every morning to help with blood sugar. Others believe it improves digestion or helps with weight management. And then there are those who think it's nothing more than another wellness trend. So what actually happens inside your body when you drink apple cider vinegar? The answer starts with one simple compound, acetic acid. This natural acid is produced during fermentation and is responsible for many of the effects researchers have been studying for decades. While apple cider vinegar isn't a miracle cure, it does interact with your digestive system in several interesting ways. Let's take a closer look at what happens. Acetic acid begins interacting with your digestive system. Apple cider vinegar starts as apple juice. During fermentation, natural sugars are converted first into alcohol and then into acetic acid by beneficial bacteria. Acetic acid is the main active compound in apple cider vinegar and gives it its strong smell and sour taste. Researchers believe this compound is responsible for many of the metabolic effects associated with apple cider vinegar. Rather than acting like a medication, acetic acid interacts with the digestive process itself, influencing how your body handles food after you eat. That leads directly to the next change. Digestion slows down. One of the most consistently observed effects of apple cider vinegar is that it slows gastric emptying. Gastric emptying simply refers to how quickly food leaves your stomach and enters your small intestine. When this process slows slightly, carbohydrates enter the bloodstream more gradually instead of all at once. Think of it like traffic merging onto a highway. Instead of every car arriving at the same time, they're released more steadily. This slower movement of food helps explain several of the effects researchers have observed in studies involving apple cider vinegar. And one of those effects happens almost immediately after eating. Blood sugar rises more gradually. Because food leaves the stomach more slowly, glucose from carbohydrates also enters the bloodstream more gradually. Instead of a rapid spike in blood sugar after a meal, the increase may be more moderate. This is one of the most researched areas of apple cider vinegar, particularly when it's consumed before or alongside carbohydrate-rich meals. Scientists believe acetic acid plays an important role in this process by slowing digestion and influencing how carbohydrates are processed. While apple cider vinegar isn't a substitute for a healthy diet, it's one reason researchers continue to investigate its role in metabolic health. But slowing digestion has another interesting effect that many people notice. You feel fuller for longer. If food remains in your stomach a little longer, it's not surprising that you may also feel full for longer. This increased feeling of fullness is known as satiety. Satiety is one of your body's natural signals that you've had enough to eat. When people stay satisfied after a meal, they're often less likely to snack shortly afterward or consume unnecessary calories later in the day. This helps explain why apple cider vinegar is sometimes associated with weight management. It's not because it burns fat, it's because the digestive changes created by acetic acid may naturally influence appetite after meals. And there's another reason researchers find apple cider vinegar so fascinating. Fermentation creates more than just vinegar. Apple cider vinegar isn't simply acidic water. It's a fermented food, and fermentation creates a variety of naturally occurring compounds beyond acetic acid. Raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar also contains what's known as the mother, a cloudy mixture of proteins, enzymes, and cellulose produced during fermentation. In addition, apple cider vinegar contains small amounts of naturally occurring polyphenols, antioxidant compounds originally found in apples. Although the amounts are relatively small compared with whole apples, these compounds contribute to the overall composition of apple cider vinegar. This combination of acetic acid, fermentation-derived compounds, and naturally occurring plant compounds is one reason apple cider vinegar continues to attract scientific interest. But perhaps the biggest question people have isn't about digestion or fermentation. It's whether apple cider vinegar can actually help with weight loss. Why it may support weight management. This is probably the biggest reason people reach for apple cider vinegar. But the explanation is often misunderstood. Apple cider vinegar doesn't burn body fat or dramatically speed up your metabolism. Instead, its effects appear to be much more indirect. Because it slows gastric emptying and increases feelings of fullness, some people naturally consume fewer calories throughout the day without consciously trying to eat less. Several studies have reported modest reductions in body weight among participants who consumed apple cider vinegar regularly, but researchers believe these changes are more likely related to appetite and eating habits than to any direct fat-burning effect. It's a good reminder that lasting weight management usually comes from sustainable habits rather than quick fixes, and researchers are continuing to study another area where apple cider vinegar may play a role. Scientists continue to study its effects on metabolic health. Apple cider vinegar has attracted considerable attention because many of its observed effects relate to metabolism. Metabolism refers to the countless chemical processes your body uses to convert food into energy, regulate blood sugar, and keep your cells functioning properly. Researchers are investigating how acetic acid interacts with these processes, particularly after meals. While many questions remain, studies continue to explore how apple cider vinegar may influence the body's handling of carbohydrates and overall metabolic function. This growing body of research is one reason apple cider vinegar remains one of the most widely studied fermented foods. But understanding how it works is only part of the story. Using it correctly is just as important. How you drink it matters. Apple cider vinegar is highly acidic, and that acidity deserves a little respect. Drinking it undiluted exposes your mouth, throat, and teeth to concentrated acetic acid. Over time, repeated exposure can gradually wear away tooth enamel, the protective outer layer of your teeth. That's why it's generally recommended to dilute 1 to 2 tablespoons in a large glass of water before drinking it. Some people also choose to drink it through a straw to reduce contact with their teeth and rinse their mouth with plain water afterward. These simple steps allow you to include apple cider vinegar in your routine while helping protect your teeth from unnecessary acid exposure. Now, let's answer another common question. Does the type you buy matter? Walk into almost any grocery store and you'll find several different kinds of apple cider vinegar. Some are filtered, some are raw and unfiltered. Others contain the cloudy substance known as the mudder. The good news is that all apple cider vinegar contains acetic acid, the compound most responsible for its studied effects. Raw, unfiltered varieties simply retain more of the naturally occurring compounds created during fermentation, including the mudder and small amounts of polyphenols from the apples. Whether you choose filtered or unfiltered, the biggest difference is processing, not whether one bottle suddenly becomes a miracle product. What we've learned about apple cider vinegar. By now, you've probably noticed that many of apple cider vinegar's effects can be traced back to one key process. It all begins with fermentation. As apple juice ferments, naturally occurring microorganisms convert its sugars into acetic acid, the compound that gives apple cider vinegar its distinctive taste and many of its unique properties. From there, acetic acid influences digestion by slowing gastric emptying. That slower digestion helps explain why carbohydrates enter the bloodstream more gradually and why many people feel fuller after eating. We've also learned that how you drink apple cider vinegar matters. Diluting it before drinking helps protect your teeth, and choosing a quality product allows you to enjoy the compounds created during fermentation. Perhaps the biggest takeaway isn't that apple cider vinegar is a miracle drink. It's that understanding how it works gives us a better understanding of how food interacts with the body. And sometimes the most interesting discoveries begin with something as simple as a bottle of apple cider vinegar. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, be sure to subscribe to the Daily Health Edit for more nutrition and wellness videos every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.